very beautiful afternoon, wherever you're watching us. Thank you for joining us and thanks for being a part of this episode of the Spotlight Talk Show. My name is Akeem, and I'm going to be your host in this exciting edition of the program. You would agree with me in the past two, three episodes, we've kind of been talking about politics. And the reason is because we feel we owe ourselves, especially those of us in diaspora, we owe the people back home a responsibility to be awake to, we call it a reawakening call. It's a clarion call. Like, guys, wake up. We can have our own dream country called Nigeria. Nigeria, like someone described it, is a country that is blessed with everything but has nothing, just due to the fact that we lack leadership, we lack good governance. We have people who have no business in governance, parading themselves as leaders. Well, don't say I'm being critical right now, but the fact stands. Because we have basis to make comparison, and we understand that self-will to such growth, to such change is possible. It's just a simple fact. And guys, we've been bringing in guests. Last week I had a guest from GBKM. It was my guest while we revised. We talked about the 2023 elections coming up in Nigeria. And today I have another exponent, another intellectual guru who has been in the forefront for fairness, justice, equity, for a possible, real, habitable country called Nigeria. He has been an advocate in this campaign, and not just that. My guest is a producer. He's a CEO of Worship Media, and his media platform has blessed a lot of people globally, not just the Nigerian Canadian audience, not just Nigerian audience. Internationally, is a force to be reckoned with. When he speaks, when he sneezes, he says what is right, what everybody can take home and relish over. He has also been someone who has ventured into politics due to his passion and belief that our country back home can work. He has campaigned and contested for the esteemed position of a state governor. He is an architect. He is someone that I can assure you today, in the course of our discussion, talking about Nigeria, he has the right intellectual acumen to guide us and tell us what is feasible and what is not feasible, because he believes in that country that we can grow. On this note, ladies and gentlemen, I want to welcome you to this beautiful episode of the Spotlight. Once again, my name is Akeem, and I'm welcoming you as we'll take our first break. And when we return, I will be welcoming my guest to join us in the studio. I'll be right back. Don't go nowhere. All right, welcome back. And ladies and gentlemen, such a pleasure to welcome to the studio with me this afternoon. We're transmitting from the city of Toronto. And we have in the studio no other person than Dr. Shidi Cadet Umayao. It's such a pleasure to have you in the studio. Thank you so much, Dr. Shidi.
Thank you so much, Akeem. How are you doing? It's a pleasure to
I'm
be on
doing,
your show.
I'm doing great, and I'm so excited to have you in the studio.
Finally, I must apologize for all the disappointment. It's just been crazy, but I'm happy we're able to make this happen today. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. So, Dr. Chidi, like I've given a brief about your personality. Would you,
Yeah.
would want you to start by, telling us about yourself in the next 1 minute? Let's have that kind of holistic impression about our guest from himself this afternoon.
Well, I regard myself as a person who, just a simple person who has discovered my purpose in life, and that purpose is to be the best I can to every human being that I meet along my way in life, to help them to the best of my ability, to serve humanity with all my strength. I always keep saying that I want to die very empty. I want, by the time I'm dead, there is nothing in me that people will be saying, "Oh, I wish he had used this." Like when you, most of you, you didn't wash towel with your hand. You have washing machine, but in those days, when you're washing a towel, you know how much water that you find in that towel. Then you have to wring it before you go and dry it. I'm the kind of person who wants to live a life that by the time I am dead, I'm like a towel that you have extracted everything from it. So that makes me give people some false impression that maybe I'm snobbish, maybe I don't have time for them, because there's so much to be done. I don't want to end up in the grave, because that's where you have the biggest collection of talents. Oh, this person could have been this, could have been that, could have said this. So I use all my talents, and I'm an architect by training. I have a construction company, but I'm also an artist. I sing. I've acted in movies. I'm a philanthropist. I have my Roots Foundation, through which I do philanthropy. I'm an activist, social activist. I love my people to die. I'm an unapologetic Igbo man, so I love and defend my people. And by extension, when you are my person because you are Nigerian, that's how I defend you. When you are my person because you're a black person, that's how I also defend you. And if you're my person because you are a member of the human race, black, white, yellow, whatever you are, I defend you. I act before I think when there is a situation where I have to defend people. That is what I see, the kind of person I see myself as. I'm somebody who has come in contact with God, and I've experienced God in such a way that I know God, I love God, I obey God, I worship God, I'm a Christian. I don't joke with my relationship with God. That's the kind of person I am. I'm also that kind of person who, like I told you before, I love my people, so I love my culture, I understand my culture, and I defend my culture and my tradition with a passion. So people get confused when they see that I'm a pastor, but then I hold a chieftaincy title from my village, and that's the totality of who I am. And we'll talk about more as we go along.
All right, thank you so much, Dr. Chidi. Okay, guys, wherever you're watching us this beautiful afternoon, I want you to know that you have access to those platforms. If you're watching on Twitter, you have an opportunity to send in messages. We're going to respond to them live in the studios. Same applies to YouTube. You can chat. You have questions you want to contribute on this program. Do feel very comfortable to send them in. And same thing with our Facebook page. So, Dr. Chidi, let's start up with Nigeria.
Yeah.
Now, 2023 elections are, already knocking. Next year we're looking at. And from what we've gathered so far, what we're looking at, I want to start from your own evaluation, your own thinking. How would you evaluate these two political giants we have in Nigeria, the PDP and the APC? They've had opportunity to hold on to power in the past 16 years, and they've been rotating it. Like, would you say these people really are they serving that country to you? Like, do you think how would you evaluate their governance in the past?
Well, in my own opinion, and I'm entitled to it, there are no two giants political parties in Nigeria. There's just one giant party of criminals and thieves in Nigeria, because APC, PDP is the same thing. It's the same people. And these people have served the country very negatively. They've succeeded in running the country down. Just by way of correcting an impression, I am I'm not the place I find Nigeria right now. I'm not fighting to keep it the way it is. I'm just fighting to be able to see if we can take power from the people that occupy, that are holding on to this power. Then we can reorganize Nigeria the way it will be, so that people can exist in it, with freedom and begin to take their lives back and reorganize it and decide what they want to do with it. So these people, they don't even, I don't see them in my radar. They're the kind of people I like to forget, okay, based on how they've run the country to the ground. Like they have completely destroyed that country, and talking about them just irritates me.
Hmm. All right, thank you so much. Now that means let's look at it from now for you. You're more like it's a failed system that needs rescue. Now, from that statement, how I want to ask you this: that for do you think the electorates, especially people, people back at home, do you think they see and share the same belief as you share being in diaspora?
You see, asking me to describe what I think people at home share or feel is like asking me to describe what a man who has just survived an accident, his leg has just been cut off, he has a broken skull, he's bandaged, there's pain all over him, he's lying in the emergency ward, and you want him to tell you which cloth you should wear to a party, whether it's this red cloth or this green cloth. Imagine that kind of thing. That man is in no state of mind to take make a very good decision. In fact, he could eventually, if you keep bugging him, he will just say that one. So just so that you leave him alone. The people in Nigeria have been so messed up. They're the way they think is so warped. They are hungry. They are hungry. They are so they've been so bullied to submission. They can't even think for themselves anymore. So it's a very, very pathetic situation that I find the electorate in. I mean, you come to somebody who has not eaten for the past 3 days, and somebody comes to them with 5,000 naira to give to them. They want to eat. You come to them without money. I'm asking you, would you feel justified looking at that electorate on one side, looking at food on the right, and looking at money in the middle, and looking at your empty hand? Would you feel justified to tell that person, please stay hungry and listen to me? Or will you first of all think about that person eating first? So this is the kind of dilemma that we find ourselves in. And that's why you don't just turn around and begin to blame the electorate, because they have found themselves in a very difficult situation. It is a messed up situation. It is now survival. When you are in survival mode, there are certain things that you no longer think from a rational point of view.
Thank you so much, Dr. Shady. My question was pretty logical because we in diaspora, I understand that a lot of us we share some common ideologies because we understand what governance looks like, practical governance, effective governance. Now, based on your analysis, these people they have been boxed to a corner that has even affected their psyche, their psychology, the way they think, the way they reason, and they are the ones on ground who can effect a change, the democratic kind of change we are looking at. Now, when you agree with me that those people already they are not in the best state of mind to even actually make judgment. And I asked that question. The second reason I asked is because recently I've seen a lot of people come up with placards, people who were who were standing up for the NSAS protests. Suddenly now they've all switched. These are influencers, popular people based on their work genre, and now they're coming up to support this same set of people who have who that were complaining against. So that was my second reason why I asked, like, in terms of electorate. Now, so I still believe that there should be a way around it. We understand. I do agree with you that these people are already boxed in a corner. Now, as you being a diasporan, being an activist, what do you think is the way we can go around it? Because they are supposed to be the one on ground, more on ground, that should effect a change, that should be able to bring real people who have business in governance to power and not what we have. So is there a way out of this dilemma we have?
You see, Akeem, it's easy for me and you to stay here and judge these people back home or analyze. Like, I woke up today, I didn't think about lights. My air conditioner was chilling. There's fuel in my car. My whole street was so quiet because it's Saturday. People were enjoying their sleep. My phone, I don't have to think about data. There's no generator for me to go and put on. There's no smoke coming out of there. My water is working. The water heater is working. Do you understand? Like, I don't think about so many things. I'm fulfilled. I open my freezer. There's juice. I open my there's juice in my fridge. There's apples. There's everything. I open my freezer. There's chicken. There's meat. How much is it? If I want, I can run to we buy juice here in gallons. We don't buy small. You know how we buy chicken in cartons. So this is the life we live here. Compare that to somebody who woke up in Nigeria, woke up sweating, mosquito don't chop am well. He woke up with somebody shouting Masalachi, that's that microphone. Then another Pentecostal church on the other side blasting their
Fire.
Yes, then his generator, all his neighbor generators are on. Then he has to think of where to buy fuel. Then he doesn't know whether it's typhoid or malaria that he's suffering. He has headache. He doesn't even know the medicine that he would drink. He comes out on the street, horn everywhere. His life is already messed up. Traffic. He wants to bring water. They say, "Okay, they never pump water from the borehole." Why? Because the generator is not working. Why? Because there's no fuel. Why didn't you buy fuel? Because fuel line is. Do you understand how they wake up? He wants to make call. Oh, his data is finished. He wants to. The light is not working. NEPA. There's no water. So this is the people who are at the top echelon of life in Nigeria. So we're not even talking about the guy at the lower level. These guys are messed up. Nigeria is a failed state. So we get frustrated. I get frustrated like you over people in Nigeria. But then I'm usually quick to pull myself together and know that these guys are functioning in a failed state. Once it is failed, it's just like when your computer has virus in it. You type a ZZZ will come out. You move your mouse, you see the thing. It's messed up. It's like a chicken that they've cut the head off. Until we get to a point, we get to a time where there is a revolution. And let me tell you something. When a revolution happens, even these people that are acting right now that like they don't know what to do because they've been influenced by so many things. In fact, some of them, you have to literally, those people carrying cards now for politicians, if you stop one of them and eject them back to reality, you see that they will be like, oh my God, what is going on? So they are in a trance. They are locked inside this thing now. And the only way out, which is really your question, is when we are able to dismantle the system. This system cannot work anymore. All this complaining that we're having and trying to see why this person is behaving that way, why the other person is not doing what they're supposed to do, is because you're trying to make sense out of a messed up situation. It's just like you caught up in a traffic hold up in Lagos and everybody is struggling to go home and the road, people are driving in the opposite direction. At that time, are you still talking about the red light? Who is the red light working for? That time is about how to bring your car out of that place. Even the policeman there will be directing people who are already in the other opposite direction. You can't arrest them. You'll be telling them, oh yeah, they go, make the other people come. So at that point in time, nobody is thinking anymore. That is the situation we find ourselves in Nigeria. Trying to make sense out of this is just a temporary measure. The major thing that needs to happen is a total shutdown. From an architectural perspective and engineering perspective, when the foundation is faulty, there's nothing you can do. If you want to fix it, you have to go back to the foundation to fix it. Painting it, patching the cracks, one day that building will collapse. I know that's where Nigeria finds itself. So until these people, they need help. It is true that the same people that were with you, the same people that you think they have attained a certain level of consciousness, will suddenly turn around and begin to do things that are shocking to you. But it is because of where they find themselves. I'm telling you, it is difficult. I know young people that have told to hold on, hold on, hold on. 1 month, please keep holding on. 2 months, come on, 60 days, no salary, no job, no work, nothing. Do you understand? You send the person money. You know how many times you send money to people, but it's not sustainable. We can't. So this is me, the way I see it. I don't check and finish until they get to a point where they understand the need to, and that revolution could come in any form, but it has to be something that happens and takes over everybody. Because if it just takes over a certain section, these people who control things in Nigeria, these wicked people, they are able to go and influence the other set to come and attack that small group, mess them up, scatter them, even turn them around to change and join them.
Thank you so much, Dr. Chidi. For wherever you're watching us from, it's the Spotlight Talk Show this beautiful afternoon. And honestly, you are saying what I'll describe as the gospel truth. You know, this is just what it is. This is what it is. But like the purpose of this, my motivation towards going into these topics, it's because I believe we can still, by education, we can refresh people's mind, right? Like you it's not like they're forgotten. But what I want us to look next right now, Dr. Chidi, is can we have a run through of the major failures, major letdown, major disappointments that this set of people in governance, just like you said, we shouldn't say there are two parties. No, they are the same. And I totally agree, because when you look at the new structure after the convention of either of the parties, you see that the first 10 lineups of officials are the campees from this A that has gone to B and the campees from B who has gone to C. So it means they're just one body of criminals. And for me, I best describe them as people who have no business, no understanding of governance. For me, it's like having a dentist in a tailor's workshop. Like, they're totally different. They don't have business. I think they don't understand this. So now let's see if we will be able to mention even 3, 4, or 5 major areas to awaken our people back home. Why these people are failed, and why we're going to go into the other logics. Like we owe them a duty to educate and tell them other areas. Like someone once said, like, guys, collect their money. When they come, collect their money. But the fact is, know what you're doing. You're not mortgaging your future. It's part of your money, right? Collect it if it comes. But do not make a mistake. I'm looking at that. That was somebody's suggestion, but I'm hoping when we get to the point of giving our people back home, which is our driving force on this program, like, guys, we can't just give up. We can't 100% give up. We must do something. So, Dr. Chidi, could we discuss major areas government has failed Nigerians? Can we start with the NSAS protest? Like, I understand that being an activist, I'm sure you are armed with, it could be 3 or 4 of them, like refresher key points where the government have failed Nigerians and why they should be awake to that fact at this point when elections are coming.
Maybe because I'm a chief and an elder, I always see things from parables and stuff like that. See, asking me to point out where these people have failed is like you're dressed up in a white shirt and white trouser, and a car just passes you on the road and splashes mud over you, and then you're asking somebody, please show me where there's a dent on my shirt. Please just point one or two places where come on, you're covered in, like, how am I gonna do that? Do you understand? Like, can you, that analogy, like, push all from your head to your toe, and you telling that person, I think let me see, it's here, and then I think, no, the person is covered in mud. So these guys, which area are you going to talk about that they did not fail? Where do you want to start? You want to talk about the young people. They failed the unborn child whose mother is not able to get good antenatal care in a hospital, and the child gets miscarried, or the child gets born with a deformity. You know why? Because somebody who was supposed to provide the equipment in that hospital, somebody who was supposed to furnish that hospital with the right equipment, ate the money. Okay, this child gets born and gets taken to the hospital for inoculation that our kids get here. They get all their injections. When due, this child is not able to get it because somebody ate the money, or somebody actually went and bought fake drugs and they injected the fake version of these drugs on this child. Now, when this child got sick, they died. Is that what you want to talk about? Because somebody ate the money. These people. Do you want to talk about this child when this child is about to go to school, that they are not able to sit down on a chair? They are sitting down on a mud floor. This is a child who lives in a place in the delta part of Nigeria where the oil is coming from, and yet this child is sitting down on a bare mud floor to attend classes because somebody ate the money that is supposed to be used to build that school. You want to talk about the people that get killed on our roads. You want to talk about a bus carrying 70 people that dies because the driver went into a pothole, because that road was not fixed, because the commissioner for works for that place ate the money for that road. Now 70 people are dead. Is that what you want to talk about? Where do you want to start? Where do you want to start? All over the place. You want to talk about children that will go inside the library and there is no single book in the library because somebody ate the whole books, because they ate the money that was supposed to be used to, and now these children don't have a future. You want to talk about the students who are at home for how many months because of ASU strike, and these guys don't bloody care. Where do you want to start? They failed everywhere. You want to talk about Nigeria that cannot generate up to how many kilowatt of electricity? That there's generator everywhere. Nigeria with Kainji Dam and all, we have Kainji Dam, we have coal, we have natural gas, and yet we cannot generate electricity. And what are you going to tell that family of 7, that they wake up in the morning and these people are lying dead in their room? Why? Because they have this small generator I passed my neighbor that they were able to buy, but they were afraid that somebody will steal this generator of maybe 10,000 naira. So they kept it inside the house, and this generator kills them with carbon monoxide and they're lying dead. What do you want to tell? What do you want to tell the minister for power, who ate how many billions? It's just that Obasanjo is still surprised at how much they invested, and yet that money did not generate any electricity. Where do you want to start? Where do you want to start? What do you want to tell the young Nigerian who was going to was a national stadium in Abuja to go and seek for a job interview, made for about was it 1,500 people, and yet there were 70,000 Nigerian youths, and a lot of them were killed in a stampede. What are you going to tell them? So where do you want to start? Where do you want to start? It's people don't understand. Sometimes the reason why we kind of look the other way is because of our mental health. It's because of our mental health. You look everywhere, there is enough to keep you sad. There is enough to make me be angry at every client I meet every day here. I know that's not good for me. I need to make money. I need to pay my bills. So I need to maintain a certain level of sanity. Otherwise, people will think something is wrong with me. That's why it's as if we don't want to talk about these things. You want to talk about the level of insecurity? Where do you want to start? And these people who are causing this thing are parading themselves. They are walking around free. And they have the audacity to still be asking you to vote for them. My brother.
Thank you so much, Dr. Chidi. At this point, we would want to go on a very short break. And when we return, we're going to continue this conversation. It's pretty, disheartening at times when we begin to reminisce and look into Nigeria as a contraption. Thank you so much, Dr. Chidi. We'll be right back after the break, audience. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, welcome back, and wherever you're watching us, it's the Spotlight Talk Show, and this exciting afternoon. It's really, this is the mood you get to when you are talking about your country, and the purpose what we bring up programs like this is to, like I said, it's to reawaken us. And Dr. Shidi has said it all. I do love his detailed, analysis from pregnancy, it feels the lifestyle of an average Nigerian who is deprived of the beauty of life. It's really pathetic. But for those of you back home, honestly speaking, we are doing all this, these talks to reawaken you. Like for me, it's a reawakening call. It's a reawakening call. And I'm hoping in the course of this program, and we will be able to still tell you people more and more facts you need to know. Dr. Chidi, let's continue our conversation. Thank you so much for being a part of the show. Now let's even look at I want us to look at this now certain facts to me. The issue of the nomination fees of 100 million from political parties. I just want you to what's your take on this? I don't know. To me, it's pretty different, but I want to hear your view on that before we continue. It's something I really want to share. We want to learn from you. Like, what are your takes on this anomaly, this madness?
Yeah, you see, I don't also, with due respect, Akeem, I don't I don't want to honor these people sometimes by wasting time on their activities, because I mean they don't run out. You can't run out of the nonsense that they do. They always come up with something. Okay, so we will talk about it, but I don't dwell a lot of time on them. Something we don't spoil. You understand? Somebody is a criminal. They're already a criminal. So me coming to, it's just like me saying, let's talk about how that guy snatched the other car the other day. Do you know they say he broke the window to somebody's house? The other day he's through the roof. The guy is a criminal. He's a criminal. So how are we fascinated? The only reason why they can fix an amount of money which is more than the salary of the president, the presidency that they are campaigning to go and become, the money they have to pay to get a form is more than their basic salary for 4 years. It's double that for 4 years. So that shows you automatically that if any of them gets inside there, he has to recoup his money now. He has to recoup his money. So this is just, they just go ahead to tell us or to confirm to some people who may not have believed in what we are telling them, to to show them that this is who we are, this is how we roll. We are capable of doing this. And they did it. In a country that is supposed to be the poverty capital of the whole world. These same people who, by the way, intentionally left the citizenry impoverished, these same people who intentionally left the populace underdeveloped, these same people who intentionally left the youth unemployed, these same people who intentionally left the youth unempowered, so that by election time, they can look up to them for peanuts. That's the whole game. These same people will come out with that money that they would have used. Do you know what 100 million can do in a village? Do you know how many youths it can keep employed? But they didn't do it. But they are able to bring out this money to just buy a form. I ran an election before. I know the amount of money you need to run an election in Nigeria. So these people had all that money. I'm not saying there's something wrong in somebody being rich. I'm not saying you're not capable of having the kind of money that you need to do that. Yes, but if you had that kind of money and all this while you did not use that kind of money, you're a wicked man if you're bringing the money out. So your priorities are warped. You couldn't use that money to help the same people that you want them to vote for you now. So that's what I think about that the amount of money they are paying to get the form. They just prove to us who they are. Not them. I told you it's one party, and they are members of the same party. So this is how they roll. This is how they spend money. I'm not surprised.
Yeah, thank you so much, Dr. Chidi. Honestly, your approach to to these issues, when we look at it, there, because I at times I get very emotional, and I've had reasons to weep when I look at situations in that country. I've had reasons to weep, and like your the way you look at it, I see that you've gone. You've crossed the Rubicon of even where I am, with the parables you used to describe these people. I see that you have passed even from the electorate side to the people. Now we want to learn one or two things from you. Talking about a way forward. What do you think can help the Nigerian electorate with the forthcoming election? We want to share from you, we want to learn from you, because whoever is watching, I'm saying it, if you're still thinking like within the way I am thinking, then I want you to know Dr. Chidi is ahead of us in terms of thinking. I'm looking at it from another very holistic approach of reality, and that's what you're saying. So let's learn from you, Dr. Chidi. Like, what are your thoughts? Like, what is the way forward in this situation now?
You see, if we leave things the way they are right now, I can assure you that every day will pass. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, continuously, May, June, July, December, another January, we will enter 2023. There will be a new president from this class of people. If everything just goes the way it is right now, forget about it. It's not about the electorate. The electorate, they don't matter now. They don't matter. These things are already written. The results are written ahead of time. When I ran for governorship in my state, Enugu State, I'm saying it on national TV, the governor of the state went into central bank where they kept the results sheets. They went in with police, and they went and carried INEC papers, result sheets, he himself, and they wrote the results way ahead of the election. And that's what they do everywhere. The only way out is if the electorate, not with their voters card, before you even get to the voter, because let me tell you something, if nothing happens before that time, your voters card is useless, because you will, the mama that will normally come with her mat, they will show her. You see mama come with her mat, she lie down there waiting to vote, she will cast her vote. That vote will not be counted, because if they count, physically before you will see 210 for that. By the time you hear it announced on TV from INEC in Abuja, that 210 will become 2 million for the people they like. So unless the electorate, and thank God for this kind of program that you're doing, unless they wake up and there is a revolution, so much so that it forces things to be done differently. If they continue, like you have said, and I know where you're going with that, unfortunately, if they continue to be asking me, Dr. Chidi, let's see, between Tinubu and Atiku, what do you think? What do you think?
Oh, sure.
You're still asking, I pity you. If by now you're still asking me, you're dead, because these are the people that killed you. You that they killed is asking me which of them. No, okay, Dr. Chidi, this guy, this one carry what be that sniper. This one carry sniper. The other one carry acid. So which one I go drink? Because I don't know. Tell me. I don't want to play that game with you. You're dead already. So the electorate is at a level of consciousness that is very unfortunate. If they cannot even begin to talk about the young candidate aspirants that are coming out, you see, there's a problem already. There's a problem. And that is the sad part of it. So if they get it before the election, then there can be hope. But if they don't get it, the whole structure is already... See, these people, they are not like me and you. This election in Nigeria is a do or die affair for the average politician. They start working immediately. They announced the result of the last election in 2019. They started working. They started buying whatever needs to be bought. They started they started stealing money, stashing money, doing whatever needs to be done. And it will shock you what these people do to stash that amount of money that is needed. So they come ready to do what they have to do. And they will rig. And me and you, with all our ideology and all our grammar, we will not smell it under that system. So the thing they must do, and it's like, see, Akeem, I'm a realist, and that's why I don't get along with a lot of people, because I won't say what you want me to say. I won't see the way you want me to see. If you're going on a journey that requires a full tank and you have quarter tank, why are you believing God that you get to that place? You will not. So why do you want me to engage you in a discussion? It's a failed journey. You will stop on the way. Go and fill your tank. Then let us now say that, just like the Bible says, having done all things, stand. As a human being, there are the things that you cannot do. But you see the ones that you can do that one first. Fill your vehicle with petrol. Fill your tank for the journey. If your tire bursts on the road, it's no longer your problem. If tree cross the road, we make you know it's not your problem anymore.
But
you understand? But you cannot choose these people. As now we are warming up, you're not even talking in the right direction. I see where you're heading, and you're about to make the same mistake. Once you make that mistake, you already put the nail on your coffin. What are we? End of discussion now.
Yeah.
because you're going to pick from one of them, and we will still end up where we end up before. And I'm not gonna sit there and be
Yeah.
me.
Yeah, Dr. Chidi. Now let's look at it from. I get what you're saying, and I want to ask a question. Just like you said, you're a realistic person. In terms of because we are trying to profile solutions, we are reawakening people, our audience at home, that there is hope if we exploit all feasible options, doing the right thing. And I do understand the parable of having to fill your tank before you embark on such a journey. I do understand it very well. Now let's look at it from the area of structure. In a system where we don't work together, in a system that has been the foundation of the system is on lies, it's on bias, uh, with the assumption that the North has all the votes. They are the dictators. Now, in terms of structure of a political party, for people, for me, I would 1 million times say, guys, try something new. Totally, go for something new rather than these two set of people. No, 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 because you are just going to repeat a cycle. It's a system that is designed not to work. It's not going to work. Somebody will pay 100 million to get into it. Definitely, the first thing is, just like you said, the day the election result is announced, some people start preparing for the next one. Now, let's look at it critically. Without thinking of structure from a local government, from a ward level, to uh to the state level, to the national level, for even our brilliant people who are so passionate about their country, the likes of I'm going to mention Shore, who has sacrificed his time and everything to remain in that country when he has the option of being a citizen of a different country. He's still there, and still advocating, facing real-time risk and challenges to his life just because he believes in that country. But what about the structure, the needed structure that needs to go around the 36 states? And look at, like, a part of the country, they are not educated, they are built to be second fiddlers. Like, that's how their elites structure the northern part of the country. Now, let's look at all this as a chess pawn here. How do you think we can go around this, educating the people at home?
See, um, evil is evil, bad is bad, good is good. It is not the size of evil that turns it into good. It is not the frequency of evil that makes us just turn around and say, this evil don't try, you. This evil don't taste. Maybe we just call am good. And no, it doesn't work that way. Evil is evil. I don't care the amount of structure that you have. You are evil, you're evil. When Noah told people about the destruction that was coming, they laughed at him. Noah, well, one boat. They build one boat somewhere. You don't get structure. Which is structure? If Noah, if you are ready to save the world, you for build this boat, scatter everywhere, you just stand one place. Leave this man, Joe. He didn't sound like it. He wasn't the kind of person that would preach that kind of. Come on, Noah, who are you? When billionaires, when the philosophers never even see this thing, when you ordinary Noah, you carry goat, they carry chicken, you won't make do you even know what you're talking about? They talk about what the thing, you don't even talk of, say, flooding. Start from flooding now. Make you predict flooding. After you predict flooding, then after that flooding fit kill some people. Then when you now talk of the big one, then we go believe you. Well, you never even talk of water. We never even see water. They build boat. You don't even build the boat near water. You want us to believe you. That's exactly what it is. People like Omoyole Sowore, They are not there because of win by force. We don't bloody, and by extension, me, because I belong to his own movement. I know he's my candidate. And we are not politicians. That's the mistake people make. We are activists who are participating. The reason why we are in politics is because wherever our people gather, wherever we are gathered and we are discussing something that concerns our people, we make sure that we are there to provide this kind of awakening that you're talking about, because somebody needs to be there. Omoyele Sowore can as well be in New York eating burger, enjoying himself. Do you understand? Today is a weekend, it's a long weekend. I don't have to be doing this program with you. You know how difficult it is to have gotten us to do this program. Why am I here? Why am I here talking about Nigeria, for God's sake, on a long weekend in Canada? Why? Why? Summer, freaking summer. I'm here 1 hour talking about Nigeria. Do you understand? So all this talk about structure, and let them use their money to. When a revolution starts, at that time you go know say structure day. When George Floyd protest started, that was a revolution. Black Lives Matter. Did you hear that Black Lives Matter have office all over the world? Did they have office in Nigeria? Did they not have the protest in Nigeria? Which structure did they have? Oh, so you thought Black Lives Matter had a headquarters and they had branch in Nigeria, branch in France. No, they did not. That's why they say you're waiting for structure. The revolution will not be televised. When that thing sparks, that's why we are there. We may or we may not win the election. That's not what it's all about. We are there to open your eyes. Even in the Bible, God said, behold, today I place before you life and death. But God, in his kindness, even though God has created man in his own image with a free will to choose, and God will not interfere. But he's still, because of his compassion, he goes in that particular place and says, I advise you to choose life. Even though Nami set the example, I'm not supposed to show you expo, but choose life, bros, choose life. That's what we're doing. We come into the scene. We show you what will be. We told them this 4 years ago. You know how we got into Nigeria? We started just like you. You were there. You were part of all that. We got angry. We said, we need to take it back. Take it back movement. We were not interested in presidency. No, it's enough. We need to take this thing back from these people. The people in Nigeria say, I beg. They for diaspora, just they talk, speak grammar. Come to Nigeria. Come show us. We said, wow, is that what it takes? Yes. We all packed our luggages, including me. Do you know what it means to go down to Nigeria? First, we went and they said, okay, because it's politics time. Like right now, the reason why me and you are discussing Nigerian politics is because it is the season. People need to understand. If you did a program and you say you want to discuss Christmas, who will come to your program? Nobody will be interested. I definitely will not want to talk about Christmas. So this is the season. So they say, because it's political season, if you want people to listen to you, you have to be involved in the politics, in the exercise. So we said, okay, let us register. Let us join a political party. Every single political party we wanted to join in Nigeria, they will say, come, make we show you waiting day. Some of them, you have to perform rituals to become a member of their party. Some of them, you will enter into some covenants. You will not believe. We saw all of it, and then all of them were smelling. None of them was good enough. With all the structures that they had, they were not good enough for us. And so within like 2 months or so to election, we said the only other alternative we have is to do this on our own terms. So we formed a brand new political party. Not sure that we're going to be approved. That's how we came to form the African Action Congress, few months to the election. And so we came on our own terms. Even if we have two governors or one governor or one senator, Akeem, standing on the path of truth, standing on righteousness. It's a lonely place now, don't you know? It's not a crowded place. It's a place where you stand and people think you're a fool. Do you understand? And it's making me emotional now. A guy found money. I think he was in Sierra Leone or somewhere. He found Liberia. He found money doing, I think, Kekena Pep or something, or I don't know what he was doing. He took the money to the police. He came back to his neighborhood. They nearly killed him. They said, you're a fool. You see money, you give them back. So that I don't digress so much, let me bring it back. All these things we are doing is because we have to show that things can be done differently. It's not usually the people who are the right people, the truthful people, the just people, the good people. They are not always the most popular. They don't always come first. They don't always have their way. But you see, truth, even if you like, press and down inside water, one day it go bust out.
Right. Yeah, thank you, Dr. Chidi. Because of our time, now still, I just want to take you on the logical side of the revolution thing you're looking at. From my own research, I understand that one thing about revolution of this nature, it means there is it's apart from the education, the enlightenment that
Akeem, sorry. It's important that I tell you this.
All right.
As somebody who has been in politics in Nigeria, these people, they have structures everywhere, but let me tell you what their structures are. Their structures are the structures through which they distribute money. If you want to check out their structure, come after election. 1 month after election, nobody is in. There's no structure. It's one person now in the world that gets money to distribute to people. It's not a true structure now. It's not a grassroots thing. After that, everybody just goes back to their business. So it's not a real structure. The real structure is the organic structure. And SARS, that was organic. That touched everybody. So you understand what I'm talking about? All those their structures, they are structures based on just it's not real. It's corrupt. It is a means by which they share money. But if they are solid with those structures, how come when they get into power, why don't they use those structures to get to the people? Maybe they get structure. It will be easy for them to go to those wards. They'll tell you we are in everywhere. We're in the ward. Yet, in those wards, you don't even know anything happening there after election. So that tells you that those structures are very, very fake. Very, very fake. Sorry, Akeem, I hope I can still hear you. Oh, sorry.
All right. Thank you.
I hope it's not from my side. I think there's a problem with your network, because from here I can't hear you. I think he's trying to reconnect. I'm not able to hear him, but I'm hoping he's gonna come back. Very soon. But just to maybe throw more light on what the person asked me before he comes back about structure. These are just things that those politicians, they use it to confuse the people. You know, they know what they are running. They know what they are running is a fake, corrupt setup. So they try to say, "Oh, structure." Thank you, Akeem. You're back.
Yeah, thank you so much, Dr. Chidi. Dr. Chidi, that I like. There is something very important. I always like to. I would have loved we looked into, but because of a time, like I don't know if you would still oblige us some other time, because when we're looking at from what you've told us now, This is one of the most realistic things I've seen. It's a dilemma for Nigerians and for Nigeria at the moment. It's comparing Axid to somebody who's going to take sniper. It is I'm like from your own perspective, from your own work so far, from your own circle. It is not like it's not like we are here to take it like win politics or not. No, but you people have that responsibility to awaken people consistently. Like, see, guys, you are going down and down and down and down the drain. Wake up, wake up, wake up. Now, my angle to it, when we talk about I'm like this kind of the restructure, the agitation. I want to use other languages around it, like the take it back movement and stuff like that. I believe there are some key things, elements that we need to discuss. Like, I feel, apart from the fact that the like money is needed, also there must be a kind of conscious reality of the people they're fighting for. So, like, it is enough. We realize this. It is enough. Then, when we've had an opportunity to take lessons home from what happened in the past, whereby this is the same set of bad people that now create a similar body that come to infiltrate or begin to use them to fight against each other, to use them to distract so that they are labeled bad. Now, it's this is something I would have loved to like discuss further with you, but because of our time on this edition, because I feel this is another way around it. Just like you say, it doesn't need a structure. Then it means it needs a reawakening, some consciousness of the people to say enough is enough. But they also need a kind of strength, a backbone. There must be a level of conviction, and there must be take homes from what were the lacunas, the failures, how were the initial attempts infiltrated. When we take a review about those past ones, we are imagining with a current one. I feel I begin to see such an option as a very clear one. Before, I used to think that this old set of people recycling themselves in governance, that they are not smart. But in the past 1 year, I've had reasons to look at it that these guys are the devil's advocate. They are smart at that bad thing they do because that's the way they see it. They are very smart at it. They get even the very smart ones among the youth who are supposed to see the reality. They begin to give them crumbs from their table, from their dirty table, and those ones begin to talk and advocate and say rubbish. Like, I don't know. So, Dr. Chidi, this is another area I feel we could educate our people on, because whatever arsenals strategy we begin to look at, it's all good ones once it can liberate and that it has that hope for a Nigeria of the future. So, thank you so much, Dr. Chidi. At this point, if you have final words, and that if you can tell us if you would be available for us to look at that strategy over time, we would be very grateful.
Yes, Akeem, I'm always available. This is what I do every day, even on my channel. Um, yes, let's try to do it at another time. If I'm available, I'll let you know. But definitely, we can choose another day to look at this again. Okay. But I want you to know that these people, these mischievous people, they know what they're doing. They start a narrative to discredit what people like us and other activists are doing. They know what they're doing. You see, even God Himself has been trying to convince people not to do bad. But how is He succeeding? People are still doing what they're doing. So God's job is to tell you, don't exceed 200 100 kilometers per hour. You say, I beg you exceed 100 kilometers an hour, you die 240. One small thing happen, you somersault, you die. God told you. It is not by having what do they call it? Having structure. Another day I'll tell you that concept of structure, because I don't worry, another day we'll talk about me. I'm not saying that they told me. I ran an election, so I know Nigeria. Every term that you hear, I'll break it down for you, and then you'll understand why so many times we don't dwell on that structure, because for people it's a profession. It's a professional. So look, imagine where the people that are supposed to go with me for a rally told me that, Oga, your own na Sunday, Abi. We dey go APC on Friday. Then just give us your t-shirt. So when we go APC on Friday, then we'll do PDP on Saturday. Then by Sunday, we'll go dress up in your own. Then we'll come meet you. Maybe we'll go.
All right. Thank you so much, Dr. Chidi. This is how far we'll be able to go on this edition. On behalf of myself and the team, we want to say thank you so much, Doctor. We really, really do appreciate your wealth of knowledge, your experience, and everything. And just like you promised us, we're going to hook up some other time. And thank you so much. All right. I want to say thank you to all our viewers this episode. We are grateful for joining us. We had to go longer beyond our scheduled plan, but we want to say thank you for being a part of the show. And don't forget that our objective is just to awaken the people back at home. 2023 is still months ahead. Wherever you listen and watch this program, please share, like, and subscribe if you like. Thank you so much. My name remains Akeem Ogunmilade. I remain your host on Spotlight. We'll be back in the next 2 weeks again with another beautiful episode and a different guest. Have a beautiful week ahead, and we wish you all the best. Stay safe and stay out of trouble. Goodbye.